All right, so once again, thank you very much for joining us this morning for the launch of our 2025 BRIM Conference. And now to officially welcome you all here, I'm going to invite our first Vice President, Ms. Joanna Austin. Unfortunately, our President, Mr. Marlon Yard, has a competing engagement at the last minute and was not able to join us this morning. So Joanna, over to you.
Directors and members of BIBA, sponsors, other specially invited guests, members of the media, good morning. It gives me great pleasure to welcome you to the official media launch of the 2025 Barbados Risk and Insurance Management Conference, otherwise known as BRIM. This year marks the 5th anniversary of the BRIM Conference, and it is an honor to have you all join us to mark its growth and evolution as we gather to explore the latest trends and innovations in the insurance and risk management industry. Barbados is a mature international insurance jurisdiction with over 30 years of experience in this arena, and we have remained consistently within the top 10 domiciles for captive insurance over this time. Unlike some of our other competitors, we have been a bit remiss in putting on an in-country showcase of our expertise, regulatory environment, and desirable quality of life, all in one package. So the BRIM Conference was created to fill this niche in the industry and to provide a platform for professionals from various sectors, including property and casualty, reinsurance, risk management, banking, financial and legal services to come together and engage in cross-cutting discussions. Our goal is to foster thought leadership and facilitate meaningful connections among industry experts and regulators. This year, we are excited to host the conference on March 27th and 28th at the luxurious, all-inclusive Wyndham Grand Barbados, a venue that allows us to welcome more delegates and sponsors than ever before. We are already on course to exceed previous year's conferences with already over 150 delegates, speakers, and sponsors registered from 88 different companies and 10 different jurisdictions. We are also excited about some of the leading-edge discussions that will be taking place at this year's conference. This year, we will be having speakers who will be exploring the health and environmental impacts of forever chemicals and what insurance and captive managers can do to prepare for expected losses, why insurance-linked securities are the single most important development in the insurance sector in the last 2 decades, the emerging risks behind being placed in captives and the associated analytical issues, and also innovative solutions for mitigating the risk to cryptocurrencies from cyber threats, among others. We hope that our delegates will also take advantage of the networking opportunities available. This year, we have introduced the inaugural Tabit Insurance BRIM Golf Tournament, which will take place immediately prior to the conference on March 26th. This tournament offers yet another opportunity for our delegates to network and build relationships in a relaxed and enjoyable setting, along with the regularly scheduled breaks, closing party, and various social events hosted by our sponsors. By bringing together local, regional, and international thought leaders, the BRIM Conference aims to highlight Barbados's expertise in risk management and insurance, positioning our country as a hub for innovative insurance solutions. Of course, none of this would have been possible without the support of our committed sponsors, and we are forever grateful. We are especially pleased that our regulator, the Financial Services Commission, has chosen to not only financially support our conference again, but also that their CEO is here with us to deliver the featured remarks for this launch. It will also be followed by one of our perennial diamond sponsors, USA Risk, who will be delivering their words of support as well. Please refer to your program for the full list of conference sponsors. Thank you again for joining us, and we look forward to a successful and enriching conference next month.
Thank you, Joanna. I will now invite Mr. Warrick Ward, CEO of the FSC, to deliver his remarks.
for those kind words. So just let me start by saying I hope not to be too long, but there seemed to be a little bit of a mix-up. Carmel told me 30 minutes. So, but no, it's going to be interesting. So to the board and management of the Barbados International Business Association, conference sponsors, specially invited guests, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Time has flown by because I really can't believe that this is the 5th annual edition of the Barbados Risk Insurance Management Conference, commonly known as BRIM. As always, it is a pleasure for the FSC to partner with BIBA on what is gradually becoming a must-attend event for members of the industry and also for people who are interested in understanding risk and risk insurance and all the affiliated sectors. Bringing together local and regional as well as international thought leaders on insurance, risk management, and global business, the conference allows us to hear a distinguished group of experts and policymakers exchange ideas and perspectives on key areas. With responsibility for regulating and supervising Barbados's non-bank financial sector, and these are almost everything outside of the commercial banking sector, we at the Commission seek to foster a dynamic and competitive financial services industry that is well-regulated, innovative, and effectively serves the needs of both domestic and international stakeholders. International finance, as well as international business, but also more broadly seen as critical to Barbados's economic growth and development. In addition to its strong link to the tourism sector, and Jamar always is keen to make that point, it provides a significant portion of government's corporate tax revenue and provides good employment opportunities for many of our graduates. Given the overall importance and the criticality of its role in the functioning of this sector, we therefore see our involvement with this conference as a natural fit. I know what many may think of us regulators and supervisors. Therefore, the BRIM conference allows us an opportunity to get away from creating new guidelines and legislation, to get outside and provide key updates and avail ourselves to the opportunity to listen, learn, and consider the views of not only our direct stakeholders, but also those who operate within the space. So let me provide you with a glimpse of the current state of primarily the insurance sector. The insurance sector is the largest of our regulated sectors. But in terms of the international business, we are also revamping our framework for the securities sector because we see this as another plank that Barbados can further develop. We aim to do this without weakening the regulatory rigor, which we strive to uphold. And globally, the captive insurance sector continues to grow as companies with increased use of business analytics, as well as their operations and operations support, they have more insight with regards to decision making and as they look to optimize the use of capital. These insurance structures also provide capacity that may not be available in traditional insurance markets. For example, which might be of interest to us, the growing interest in parametric solutions, especially around climate and environmental risks. A 2024 report by Howden and the Boston Consulting Group, commonly known as BCG, some of us might know it as, forecasts that global insurance premiums for climate resilience and property exposed to natural catastrophes could reach approximately $250 billion by 2030. That is a 50% increase over current volumes. So let me explain a bit, because I know that in this current global environment, the word captive might cause us to sit up. Please do not let your minds wander. Captives or captive insurance is simply a structure that allows participants to share in the risk for potential reward of lower costs, underwriting profits, and investment incomes. Sorry to disappoint with the boring statement. So there are opportunities for Barbados. At the most recent count, the Commission regulates just over 1,300 licensees, 1,053 insurance companies and market intermediaries, 25 credit unions, 245 occupational pension plans, 25 mutual funds, and 39 securities companies. Additionally, there are over 100 brokers, traders, investment advisors, and other participants that sit on our roster. As of September 2024, the FSC held on its books 175 Class 1 companies, insurance companies, with an estimated value of approximately $49.1 billion in assets. At the end of the same period, there were 112 Class 2 licensees with an estimated value of $123.8 billion in assets. For those who may not be familiar with our classifications, a Class 1 licensee is an insurance company that underwrites related party business, and Class 2 refers to an entity that underwrites third-party risks, and Class 3 licensee is an insurance intermediary, such as an insurance management company. The bulk of the captive insurance business continues to originate from Canada and accounts for 51% of the registrants, followed by the USA, about half of that, about 25%. In 2024, there were 19 captive formations compared to 12 in 2023. So we think that net, there was a good, 2024 was good for Barbados, and we continue to be ranked as third captive jurisdiction within the Caribbean and seventh globally. The insurance sector continues to grow, and at the Commission, we're patently aware that we must evolve and be positioned to meet the needs and demands of our stakeholders. Therefore, in 2024, at the Commission, we have informed of the proposed amendments to the Insurance Act, which will facilitate the introduction of risk-based requirements for statutory funds, capital, and solvency. We have made a few necessary amendments, but overall, we have started a comprehensive and purpose-driven approach to our legislative amendments and our reform agenda. We do this to ensure that the implementation of a modern and flexible framework, which allows the Commission to do exactly what we say we are going to do, create a risk-based framework. As always, as part of the commitment to our engagement, we will share with the industry these amendments, and we will proceed with the usual consultation or consultative process before we shape or we adopt the final versions of new legislative agenda. Regarding AML CFT regime for the insurance industry, and our intent to reassess and establish a risk rating appropriate to general insurance business, this continues to be a work in progress. In the meantime, we urge you to take the appropriate measures to combat money laundering, countering terrorist financing, and the proliferation financing. These are but just a few of the initiatives that we are currently engaging the attention of the Commission. And during the conference, you will hear more. We will try to keep it, within the 30-minute limit. To demonstrate our commitment to you and to provide strong regulatory oversight and to enhance service offerings as we build out FSC 2.0. The Commission is focused on effectively implementing a risk-based regulatory framework and supervisory methodology. and this will allow us to better address the macro and micro prudential exposures that may arise. Robust risk management, given the size and the exposure of our economy. Robust risk management is essential for fostering investor confidence and driving increased investment into and within the Barbadian economy. The Commission looks forward to continuing to collaborate with our stakeholders and to create a regulatory framework that is conducive for innovation and growth, given that innovation is one of our strategic priorities. Ultimately, we are committed to observing and optimizing operations to ensure alignment with the evolving regulatory landscape. This involves creating a more streamlined and responsive framework that effectively addresses the unique needs of our stakeholders. Fundamentally, we will continue to work with BIBA and our other strategic partners to improve the financial landscape in Barbados. In closing, the conference will be an exciting time for education and networking as we exchange ideas and points of view in all areas of risk, insurance, and banking. You will hear from a diverse group of speakers representing a wide cross-section of the industry. And in times past, I know that they're looking forward to sharing with you and are eager to connect with you all and learn from your experiences as well. Based on prior iterations of this event, you will leave inspired and energized, full to the brim, so to speak. I really could resist. And I look forward to seeing you and interacting with you. And on behalf of the Board of Commissioners, management, and staff at the FSC, I wish you a successful and engaging conference. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you to Warrick. I will now hand over to Mr. Scott Stallmeyer, Vice President with USA Risk, one of our perennial diamond sponsors, as Joanna would have mentioned.
Joanna and Warrick have really said 98% of what you can expect at the upcoming BRIM conference. So for me, this will be fairly short and sweet, I guess. On behalf of USA Risk Group, we're really thrilled to continue to be a diamond sponsor at this event. We've been on board since the first year, and this now being the 5th year. You can see the growth that has evolved year after year, and then this year with the upcoming golf tournament that's involved, being sponsored by Tabit, it adds to what the week has to offer. So I think certainly the more seats that we'll have in the room compared to previous years, the diverse topics that will be presented to the attendees will really make it for a very interesting week. So simply on behalf of USA Risk Group, we are glad to be here once again. We have promised to engage and to continue our support going forward, and we certainly look forward to this event growing in future years as Barbados evolves and this becomes a signature event on the captive insurance calendar globally.
I am now going to invite our chair of our insurance committee, Mr. Stephen Robinson, to deliver his closing remarks and vote of thanks.
Thank you, Carmel, and good morning, and thank you everyone for attending, especially those of you in the media, and for your questions. We rely on you to provide coverage of our event and to build awareness of the work that we do at BIBA. Our goal at BIBA is to develop the global business sector and advance the interests of the global business community in the wider interests of Barbados. We thank you, the media, for the role that you play. The Barbados Risk and Insurance Management Conference is one of BIBA's signature events, and it would not be possible without the support of our sponsors, some of whom provide significant logistical support in the planning and execution stages of the event. Now, Bar, you would have asked the question about the cost of putting on BRIM. And through sponsorship and through delegate revenue, we were able to cover the cost of putting on this event. So I would first like to recognize our diamond sponsors, USA Risk Group Barbados Limited and RBC Dominion Securities, who have been with us from the beginning of BRIM in 2021. Our platinum sponsors are London and Capital and Summit Asset Management Limited. Thank you. Our gold sponsors, Payden and Regal Attorneys at Law and CIBC Caribbean Bank Barbados Limited. Our silver sponsors, the Financial Services Commission and DGM Captive Management, Inc. I would like to recognize and thank Mr. Warrick Ward, CEO of the Financial Services Commission, for his opening remarks today. I was not given 30 minutes like Mr. Ward,
Oh, yes.
so I will move on.
Good.
Our bronze sponsors, PricewaterhouseCoopers, Concord Bank Limited, Great Pacific Group, Active Re, Invest Barbados, Nova Wealth Limited, and Strategic Risk Solutions Barbados Limited. I would like to thank and recognize our Business Lounge co-sponsor, Truist Bank. And as part of BRIM this year, we will be hosting a golf tournament, and I would like to thank our title sponsor, Tabit Insurance, and our luncheon sponsor, Integrity Managers, for coming on board. Along with Mr. Ward, I would like to thank Ms. Joanna Austin, First Vice President of BIBA, and Ms. Carmel Haynes, Executive Director of BIBA, for their roles at today's media launch. Scott, I would like to thank you for representing USA Risk and bringing your opening remarks for us. BRIM would not be possible without the work of our organizing committee comprising of Jan Crawford, Scott Stallmeyer, Elliot Barr, Kevin Armstrong, Darren Treasure, Ricardo Knight, Nikita Gibson, Sabrina Maynard, Carmel Haynes, and Orion Lynch, many of whom are here today. And our BIBA Secretariat, Cecilia Mears, Michelle Hood, and Lisa Martin, also critical to the success of BRIM. So thank you to the organizing committee and to the Secretariat. Our hosts today are Protexa, thank you, and our service providers are Professional Sound and FX Lighting and Happy Hospitality Caterers. Thank you everyone for attending this launch, and I invite you to mingle and enjoy the delicacies provided and to enjoy the remainder of your day.
Thank you, Stephen. And I would also like to thank you, Stephen, as you also serve on the organizing committee. And I would like to recognize Chris Rudder at the back of the room. He snuck in quietly as the operations manager here at Protexa, who graciously offered us this space to be able to conduct this media launch for our BRIM conference. And once again, I would like to add my thanks to what Stephen said. Thank you all for coming, especially the media, and for making this possible. And we now invite you to enjoy our break.